Hello, my friends. Welcome to Talk to Me Tuesday for Tuesday, March 14th, 2023. This is Jennifer. Well, there's no hiding it. As you can see, I finished my quilt top. It is on the design wall. It is beautiful. I love everything about it. Because I'm having to really pace myself while I wait for my foot to heal, what normally would have taken me probably 3 or 4 hours took me almost 3 days. And because of that, I had a really long time to think about why I quilt, why I sew, why I make things in general. And it was really good for me. I think I needed that time to really just kind of reconnect with my inner creative person and remember why I do the things that I do. The last, I don't even know now, since about 2019, things have been up and then way down. I know everyone had a really rough couple of years as well, but we've also had a lot of health problems and a lot of other things that we've had to, crises that we've had to deal with. And it's kind of been like one after another since about 2019. So I've just decided to sort of reassess, recenter myself, and really think about why I do the things that I do. So, as you guys can see, all pieced. And I have two questions for you guys. One is, would you want a pattern for this? It's quite simple. I think I could probably write up instructions for you in just a blog post. It wouldn't take very much. It's just basic. It would be basic guidelines because this is a very simple pattern. And two, I need your help naming this quilt. So my friend Jana says it reminds her of an old-fashioned picnic quilt, which was 100% what it was. The original quilt was a picnic quilt, and I have Googled picnic quilt names, and every name I've thought about so far has been taken. Picnic quilt is taken. Grandma's picnic quilt is taken. Picnic time is taken. Just I Googled everything I could possibly think of for a picnic quilt, and I would really like a unique name so that if I do share the pattern, I'm not taking someone else's quilt name. I love to name all my quilts, and I would like to work picnic into this one, but I haven't figured it out. So I would love your suggestions. And if I pick your name, I'll send you something. I don't know what, I haven't figured that out yet, but I've been really loving doing giveaways again. So if I pick your name for my quilt, I will send you something. And if you're new today, just a little refresher, this quilt is a rough recreation of from a picture of a quilt that one of my great grandmothers made. And it's a quilt I grew up with. It's a quilt I don't own. I really wanted something like that quilt in my life. So this is the recreation of that. The blocks are string pieced on a foundation, on a muslin foundation. Just like every weird piece of muslin I had, I cut into 100 pieces that were about a half an inch bigger. And then I used, as you can see, like tealy blue and then yellows and peaches and like lime greens. I showed you guys this last week. This was my Riley Blake fabric that I used. I love the color of this fabric. I love the way it looks. But I gotta tell you guys, this is some of the prettiest fabric I've ever used. I'll put a couple of pictures in. I was covered in thread. I had to get thread out of my machine. I had to pick tons of thread off. I had a giant pile of thread on my floor after I finished piecing it. I did actually end up going around and stay stitching around the edge, which I never ever do, especially if I'm quilting myself. I don't bother, but I was really worried about how much it was fraying on the edges. So I love this color. I love the way it looks. Frays a whole lot. So I have all my fabric ready to piece my back. It's all going to be fat quarters with a few odds and ends mixed in. And I'll show you my very, very, very rough sketch. So I'm going to do it in rows, and then occasionally I will piece to a fat quarter to make it wide enough, because this quilt is about 84 inches by 84 inches. And to put it on my mid arm, I want it to be about 90, maybe more like 92, 94. So I'm gonna get that piece. I have been working on that, but again, I'm pacing myself because I'm trying to recapture the joy of quilting. So I did tease you guys last week that I had a new design coming out on Fandom and Stitches, and if you follow my social media or Fandom and Stitches social media, then you saw it on Sunday. This design was supposed to be for the Fandom and Stitches Valentine's post, which I ended up just not doing. A tree fell down on our cars, and you guys already know all of that. So it just kind of derailed my whole February, and I didn't get the pattern edited and I didn't get it tested, and it's ready now and it's online, and I wrote not quite a tutorial, but I put some helpful hints into making this pattern, and I really, really hope you guys like it. So this is I Love You, I Know. And for anybody who's a Star Wars fan, this is an iconic scene. I was inspired by other fandom art, other artwork. I didn't take anything specific. These silhouettes are based on thousands of images that you can find everywhere online. I actually tried to find a source image, couldn't find it, so I'm not entirely sure where the originals came from. I redrew them because I don't like reusing other people's art, so I redrew them myself from scratch, which is why they look a little bit different. And then the text I created from a Star Wars inspired font. I did the whole thing in EQ, and I learned how to do layers in my EQ project, which I had never even messed with before because almost everything I do is paper piece, so I just never bothered. So this was really fun. It only took me, and this is me being slow speed, it only took me a couple of days to get this tested. I still need to stitch around these guys, and I just haven't decided how I want to do it yet. I don't know if I want to just do like a straight and then do like a raw edge, or if I want to do like a zigzag. I haven't decided, which is why it hasn't happened yet. So really pleased with this. I get a lot of requests to see the back of my work, so I want to show you guys the back. If you attempt this quilt, I highly recommend an add an eighth ruler. If you don't have an add an eighth ruler, just use your regular quilt ruler and cut your seams to an eighth of an inch. It will make this so much easier to piece. Some of the pieces are very small, especially on the O's. You get a lot of little pieces in order to make the curves. They're not hard, just take your time. And because this is only 2 colors, chain piecing is super duper easy. While working on this, I pulled out a tool that I did not buy for quilting and used it for my paper piecing, which is my little Cricut iron. This is tiny, teeny, tiny iron, but because of this handle, it keeps your hand way away from the heat. And the couple of other mini irons I've had over the years, your hands are like right on top of where the heat is, and I have more than once like grabbed the hot part. This is great for pressing. You don't want to iron, you want to press. It's fantastic. It's got a little base you put it in so that you can sit it down on your ironing surface without it being a problem. This works so well that I'm probably gonna use it for all of my paper piecing. That guy was a Black Friday half price sale product, so it's a little pricey in general, but I got it for half price and I was really pleased, and I loved it so much I got one for Jules. I want to give a shout out to my furniture with wheels, because I was able to move everything aside so that you can see pretty much the whole quilt top behind me. That has been such a wonderful addition to my sewing room, something I did when I did my sewing room makeover last year. And if you guys are curious about that, if you're new-ish around here, I have a whole playlist of my sewing room makeover, and I've watched a couple of the videos recently myself just because I kind of forgot what I did, and it was very gratifying to watch it go from before to after. So anyway, yeah, that's gonna be it for me. You guys have a wonderful week, have a crafty week, have a great pie day, and I will see you next week. Bye.